Hey, good morning, folks. Hope you're doing well this morning. It's Wednesday morning, and we're going to jump in for a few morning minutes in the Word. We're going to continue our look at Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. We started this on Monday. And remember, just as way of background, God is speaking to Joshua as he's about to take over leadership. Moses has passed away. Joshua is now thrust into this position of leadership over the entire nation of Israel. And in a very key time in their history, he's about to lead them into the promised land. Remember, Moses got them to the promised land just outside. Now Joshua is going to lead them over the Jordan into the promised land. He's going to oversee them in battles. He's going to oversee them while they're dividing up the land between themselves. There's a lot about to happen in the book of Joshua. And so right there at the very beginning, God reminds him of something he told him back in Deuteronomy when Moses was still alive. And we see that in Joshua 1:9, in the midst of all of what God had to say to him. Joshua 1:9, God said this, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest." So we saw Monday, God said, be strong, stand firm, be courageous, get ready to face this thing that, this massive undertaking, this leading the nation of Israel, leading my people. Be strong, stand up, and be courageous. Get ready to do this. And then in the middle of the verse, he says, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. I mean, you can imagine if you've ever been put into some sort of position of leadership. Maybe it was new to you. It wasn't something that you had done a million times, but that first time you're put in leadership, it can be scary. Hey, everybody's going to be looking at me. Everyone's going to be coming to me for answers. And I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can do this. I'm so scared. I'm full of fear. You may have been in that position. So you can imagine that would have been something that would have been normal in our eyes for Joshua. But God said, don't be afraid. And the idea there isn't, hey, nothing should ever cause you any fear. It's just you're so big and strong and there's nothing ever should cause you fear. It's not because Joshua was great. In our lives, it's not because we're great that we shouldn't be afraid. It's because whenever we have a proper focus on who God is and that he's with us, as we'll see on Friday, when we have a proper focus on that, then we don't need to fear. Someone said once upon a time they made an acronym of FEAR, and it said false evidence appearing real. Many times we fear things that aren't even real. We fear what might happen. And of course, in our mind, it's the worst case scenario of whatever the situation is. Maybe it's a serious talk you need to have with somebody. And so in your mind, you've replayed every single scenario that could possibly happen, you think. But of course, all those scenarios are the worst possible things, the negative things. You never think, well, wait, what if I have this conversation and it goes great? No, we always go to the worst possible scenario, and then we become fearful. Whenever you're asked to speak in front of someone, speak in front of a crowd, you, of course, immediately fear kicks in, and you immediately assume you're going to bomb it, and you assume everyone's going to hate it. And so that's what happens is we let fear take over. And then it affects how we're going to perform. It affects how we're going to be able to live. God said, don't be afraid. Hey, Joshua, I got this. I'm sending you. So you don't have to fear. I'm not going to send you into something and then not go with you. I'm not going to send you into something and not equip you. So he said, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. That dismayed, that carries with it the idea of being discouraged and just beaten down. Hey, there are going to be some things in life that are upsetting. There are going to be some things in life that are disappointments. Are we going to allow those to crush us? Are we going to allow those to cause us to be beaten down and discouraged and just give up? See, that's what happens a lot of times. Folks are fearful or they're discouraged, and it causes them to quit. God said, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. Throughout the Bible, we read that we are not to be afraid, that we can trust on God, lean on God, depend on God. Don't be afraid. So someone said that the command to not fear is listed 365 times in the Bible. Now, if you just look up fear not or do not be afraid, you're not going to find 365. But the idea of don't be afraid, fear not, that is supposedly 365 times in the Bible, one for each day of the year is what someone has said. Whether it's 365 or just a bunch, God says it a lot of times, don't be afraid. I'm with you. I got this. I got you. I hope that'll be an encouragement to you today. I know this year there's been a lot of things to be afraid of. There's been a lot of things to get us down and discouraged. But through everything, regardless of how bad stuff gets in this world, God's still in charge. I just want that to be an encouragement to you today. Have a great day, and we'll be back to finish up on Friday.